thick, creamy mac and cheese without the need for a bechamel. So, what is a bechamel? Well, it's fat and flour. As this cooks, the butter coats the flour particles to prevent clumping. And as we slowly add the milk, the starch in the flour absorbs the milk, swelling in the process, creating this thick, creamy texture. But today, we don't need this because we have this. Dry macaroni is made from 100% flour, semolina flour to be precise, extremely high in protein and gluten, and extremely rich in terms of surface starch. This will act as our flour in our roux making. So, just like the bechamel, heat up the pan and we melt some butter. And the starch-rich pasta, they go straight in. And we know agitation releases starch. So we're simply going to stir this as you would a risotto, rubbing the pasta against one another, releasing the starch. And the starch will emulsify with the butter and start to thicken. Once everything is thoroughly coated, we start to introduce the liquid. In this case, some boiling water. If you want it extremely rich, you can cook it with milk the whole time, but I find that a bit too heavy. So, we once again stir, releasing more starch, and you continue to top up with just enough water to cover everything. This way you only cook this dish once, you don't need to make the cheese sauce, boil the pasta, drain off all the starch. Everything in one pan, not wasting one molecule of starch. You can already see the color of the liquid, and it's only been, 30 seconds? Similar to a bechamel in terms of color, without even adding the milk yet, except for the milk solubles and the butter, but my point is still valid. And you can use the packaging as the guidance in terms of how long this process would take. And towards the last 2-3 minutes of cooking, we'll switch from the boiling water to the milk to give it a richer finish. As you might have noticed, I have not seasoned this yet, as I'm factoring in the cheese that we're gonna add. I want to first add the cheese, taste, and then adjust the level of salt accordingly. If you want to go the extra mile, you can use some chicken broth for this to add a bit of complexity. Dashi, vegetable stock, they all work. Today we keep it simple, just to demonstrate the principles. Now, once we're T-3 and there's not much liquid left, we start to incorporate the milk, just like the roux, bit by bit. Just look at how rich and creamy this is. Now we taste for doneness. Oh, perfect. Now, before we introduce the cheese, stove off, and we want this to cool down to the range between 65 to 75 degrees Celsius to prevent the cheese from splitting and to help us get there quicker with more control. We add a small dash of cold milk. We keep stirring. The temperature you mix in the cheese really affects the creaminess of the final dish, so I would really take my time to mother it. But keep stirring it in the process so that the starch does not clump up. We've gone this far anyway, might as well stir. Perfect, now we go. Here we have some cheddar, you can use any cheese of your choice, and we add this bit by bit. Mix everything. And we go again. Oh yeah. Now, once you're happy with the texture, you taste. And now we adjust the level of salt. Just a touch. Mix, and your creamy mac and cheese is good to go. Now, to make it even more festive, grab casserole dish, add our creamy mac and cheese. On top of that, we sprinkle some Japanese panko. You can use breadcrumb as well, but from experience, I find panko, because of the way it's dried and it's crustless, it gives you a crispier, lighter finish. Now, this goes into a 180 oven for 20 minutes in total. And halfway through cooking, we'll grate some extra cheese on top. All right, after 20 minutes, this beauty comes out. Oh, and it is a beauty. Look at that. Wow. Look at this. Good enough for any occasions. Is this better than the bechamel version? Well, cook it and you'll find out.